Welcome to the Queen City Music Podcast, the podcast devoted to the local music scene in Charlotte, North Carolina. Now, here's your host, Matthew Ablin.
Hello and welcome to episode 101 of the Queen City Music Podcast for August 2026. This episode of the QCMP is sponsored by Midwood Guitar Studio, Charlotte, North Carolina's own boutique guitar shop located in Plaza Midwood. Midwood Guitar Studio not only has the finest selection of boutique guitars, but familiar names like Fender, Martin, Taylor, Two Rock, and many others. Whether it's a guitar, bass, amp, effects pedal, or a much-needed accessory, the knowledgeable and friendly staff at Midwood Guitar Studio will help guide you in the right direction for your next purchase. And Midwood Guitar Studio also has a luthier on staff for all your repair needs. Visit their website at midwoodguitarstudio.com or stop in to see their unique shop at 1517 Central Avenue, Charlotte, North Carolina. And Goldie's, the spot for live music and food in the heart of Charlotte's Lower South End. Goldie's offers unpretentious food like smash burgers, wraps, pizza, and my favorite, the pulled chicken quesadillas. And while enjoying food and drinks, take in the live music featuring some of Charlotte's best musical acts. The music starts Fridays at 6 p.m. and Saturdays at 5. Check out their weekly live music schedule at goldiesclt.com or stop in for yourself at 3601 South Boulevard, Charlotte, North Carolina. By the way, if you have a business and would like to become a sponsor of the podcast, like our friends at Midwood Guitar Studio and Goldie's, drop me a line at qcmusicpodcast@gmail.com and I'll discuss all the information with you. And if you enjoy the podcast, drop by MatthewAblin.com where you'll find out about all my upcoming performance dates, social media links, original music, and a host of other information. This month on episode 101 of the Queen City Music Podcast, I'm sitting down with the amazing Carrie Ann. She's carved out a wonderful niche for herself as a solo cover performer, but is also a member of the Black Crowes tribute band Hard to Handle and One Bar Short, which performs jump blues and good times rock and roll of the 50s. She's filling us in on how she developed her unique solo show, what it's like playing in a tribute band, and so much more. Carrie Ann, welcome to the Queen City Music Podcast.
Thank you very much for having me.
Man, I'm just going to say it. I was taking a break one night from being at Mary O'Neill's before I was playing because they didn't start till a little later. And I wandered down to Great Wagon Road and I saw you were playing. I was like, I've got to check out Carrie Ann. I've heard so much about her and I've seen her all over the place. And I sat at the bar and I was just like drinking. I was like, what a great show. I got to have her on the podcast. And then you looked up and you were like, I recognize you. Yep. You got your hat on.
Yep.
So it's finally.
The hat gave you away.
It's my signature now, apparently.
Kind of like my hair.
There you go. I did a new logo and the logo has got my hat and my guitar on it. So
there you go.
And I do get you look like, James Taylor.
Yes. I see the resemblance, and now I cannot unsee it.
If I had $1 for every time somebody said that to me, man, I'd be a wealthy character. All right, well, let's get it started. Are you originally from the Charlotte area?
I am not.
Okay, where
so
are you from?
I was born in Houston, Texas.
Okay.
Moved to Woodstock, Virginia when I was 4 or 5.
Okay.
Lived there till I was about 17, 18, till I was 18. Went to college there, got my degree, and then at 18 moved to Philadelphia.
Okay.
So I stayed in Philly for about 13 years and then moved down here.
What brought you down to Charlotte?
So at the time I had given birth to my first daughter.
Okay.
And we weren't really keen on staying in the Philly area because of crime and just it wasn't a good place to raise a child. My family, my mom and my stepdad and my grandmother were all down here. And so we moved down here to be closer to their grandparents.
Okay. That's great. And what's your music background? Because I know you as the singer, Carrie Ann, and piano player. What's your background?
So I've been a singer since I was 7. I used to sing the national anthem for local sporting events and stuff like that when I was a kid. Was in musicals in high school, middle school and high school. I was in all the choirs, every chorus class, all of the competitions, honors choir, stuff like that, for all state choir and stuff like that. Growing up, I was able to take college courses while I was in high school.
Great.
So, where I lived was Shenandoah Conservatory of Music, which is now Shenandoah University. But then it was Shenandoah.
Virginia.
Yeah.
I have a buddy who went to graduate school there. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Shenandoah Conservatory.
Awesome.
Yes.
So yeah, it was Shenandoah Conservatory, but now it's Shenandoah University, which is way cheaper than when I went. But so I took college courses while I was in high school.
Music stuff or no?
Music stuff.
Okay.
Yep. And then I was able to get my associate's degree in music, like in less than a year at the conservatory before I moved.
Fantastic. So were you just singing at that point, or did you play piano?
Yeah, no, I didn't play. I never played an instrument.
Really?
I never needed to. I always had somebody to back me up, either an accompanist or a band or whatever. And then, and that was through my whole life.
Right.
I did it part-time regularly because, I was raising a child, and even before I was raising my child, I was still doing it part-time because I had to, work a real job, quote unquote, to survive. So I was doing it part-time my entire life. I didn't know how to play anything. I didn't need to know how to play anything. Then COVID came along. And nobody was able to come over to my house. My band couldn't come over to rehearse. I couldn't have anybody over to work on stuff. And I had just lost my job, my real job that I thought I was going to retire from.
Wow.
And it was, COVID had basically taken all of the positions. I was a project manager. They took all those positions and sent them up to Connecticut where headquarters was. So I had a severance, I had unemployment, and I had the unemployment COVID bump. So financially I was fine, but I was bored, and I'm 35 years sober, and I knew if I didn't do something with that time, one of the few things that were open were the ABC stores.
Sure.
I didn't want to hurl myself off the wagon. So, I bought a guitar and I bought a keyboard, and I was determined to learn one or both of them. So I started with the keys and was doing pretty well. And I'm like, all right, let me go to the guitar. And every time I would get angry with the guitar or frustrated with the guitar, I'm like, darn it. And I'll put that down and go back to the keys. So I went back to the keys a lot.
So you found the keys easier?
Yeah.
Which is so funny because I always tell people, like, I don't get piano at all. Like, I have a piano right here, and I've taken lessons and play. I'm just an awful piano player. Like, I can pluck out some chords here and there. I could do 2-octave scales or something like that, but I'm like, play a song? No, I am just not a piano player. There's something with it, like playing guitar, particularly studying classical guitar for years. You keep your wrist straight.
Right. Oh, yeah.
And then going to piano, you bend the wrist.
Right.
And man, my wrists hurt. I just can't, I could never take it.
I get pain here occasionally.
Yeah.
I wear a wrist brace. Because I'm playing 4 to 6, sometimes 7 shows a week.
Yeah.
After a while, and loading in and out, I've got to I sleep in that wrist brace to keep things going. But I used, Udemy has a bunch of piano, how to play piano things. So I went through a lot of the videos on Udemy and taught myself how to play keys.
Wow.
And then I would learn certain chords, and I didn't want to get bored. And I knew if I stayed with the courses, I would get bored. So I'm like, okay, here are the chords I know. And I start Googling what songs have these chords in them. And I would find songs, and I would work on the actual songs to play.
If you're doing pop songs, it's usually just 3 or 4 chords.
Pretty much. So then I started learning more, and then I challenged myself, and I threw it out to my Facebook people. I said, here's what I'm doing. I'm teaching myself to play. Give me requests. Nothing extremely intricate, please, but give me requests to learn. I'll learn them, record them, and I'll post them, and I'll tag you in it. And this is all during COVID. This kept me busy for hours and hours because I was in my studio for hours and hours on end at the time. And I would get up first thing in the morning, get up, shower, and start it. And it would not be unheard of for me to be in the studio for 8 to 10 hours in a day.
Wow.
Learning stuff. So, that's how I taught myself to play.
So if I backtrack just a little bit, so going to school at college in Shenandoah, did you study classical music or were you?
Vocal performance.
Vocal performance. Okay.
Classical was part of it.
Yeah.
But they never pushed me to learn an instrument.
Okay.
Which was odd, but I think because I had taken some courses in high school and I was going for an associate's degree, they weren't pushing that agenda at all.
Okay.
And they just stuck with my vocals and music theory.
Yeah, having gone to school for music, I know that it's pretty much a classical or like a jazz track or something like that, and I didn't know what they did for a vocalist.
No, for it was just vocal performance,
wow.
And it kind of encompassed all genres. You kind of touched on a little bit of everything,
okay.
Even music theater, which I hated, but had to take it.
It's good training, I would imagine.
It is. I also took, I used to do summer camp there.
Okay.
And summer camp had a lot of music theater. It's just, I'm not an actress at all by any stretch of the imagination. I can't fix my face. Everything screams what I'm thinking on my face. So yeah, no, acting was never a forte.
You're good for film. Yeah. So everybody can see your face because that's what sells it in the theater, right? It's the face. Oh my goodness. All right. So I want to try to clear this up for myself.
Sure.
All right. So you start picking up piano during COVID. Were you singing in groups around town, before COVID?
I was.
Okay. What were you doing?
So I actually had taken a break. I had sung country with my ex-husband for like 6 years. And it was in a very different, it wasn't in this community. I didn't even know this community existed, which was weird.
What do you mean this community?
This music community.
Oh, in Charlotte?
Yeah. Because the country that I was singing was something completely different.
Different community.
Yeah. They, for whatever reason, they didn't cross paths and played at different places.
Not to interrupt you, but I do say this a lot on the podcast with people I talk to. The Charlotte music community, for better or worse, is very segmented.
Yeah.
And I will say, I don't know, only from the podcast do I know a lot of the people in the original music scene.
Okay.
I do know a heck of a lot of people who do covers.
Right.
And are solo covers.
Right.
You know, yourself, Shannon Lee, a whole bunch of other folks who do acoustic stuff.
Sure.
And then the jazz segment, I don't really know too many of them. I've met a couple of the guys from the podcast, but that's about it.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, you're fine. Interesting. You're fine. But yeah, so I did country. I got burned out on country. Actually, I'd gotten burned out on performing altogether. Mm-hmm. Between that and the divorce that I went through, I just needed a break,
right,
so to speak. And I kind of missed it, but I kind of didn't. And so, I kind of dipped my toe back into dating, and met somebody who was a guitarist, and we started dating, and he pulled me into the trio that they were in. So I played with that trio, which was called Bentwater at the time, and it was me, Jason Hilliard, and Donnie Dover.
Okay, Jason Hilliard I've heard of. I don't know Donnie Dover.
I love him. He's a wonderful human being. So we were great. I mean, perfect three-part harmony. But the way it came about was it was just Jason and Donnie.
Okay.
And I was just going to, at the time it
was
was
a third wheel.
I was a third wheel. I was. They were doing open mic at what was called Grape and Agave, which doesn't exist anymore, but it was a wine bar. I loved that place. It was almost like a little speakeasy with little couches, very dim lighting, very intimate area. But this was where I met almost everybody in the music community. Sean Kaiser ran it.
Was that down in Ballantyne Village? Yeah. Okay, and then it became Espresso or something like that, some coffee shop?
Yes, I think it was.
It's been a bunch of places.
Yeah. So that was where I met everybody. So I was going, at the time I wasn't performing. I just was a supportive person. I would, help them load in, load out, and yay. And I would sit over on the couch and quietly to myself, kind of sing to myself and harmonize with them. And I thought I was being quiet about it. And by about the third time that I went, I forget what the song was. I was harmonizing with them. Tom Rita was like right here, and he turned, his head spun around, and he said, "Oh my God, you can sing. Sean, come here." And I was like, oh God, I did not mean for any of you all to hear any of this. So Sean heard me, and Mike Davis heard me, and they were like, yeah. Well, you all need to get her to start. I know both those guys. Yeah, I know Sean and Mike, I love them. They're great guys, people. Yes. And they were like, yeah, you need to start singing again. That you sitting on the couch is just not going to cut it. So Donnie started pulling in songs that he thought I could do, with the three of us together. And he kind of folded me into Bentwater. Okay. And we started playing. And I finally got the guts. I had heard so much about Shannon's open mic. I mean, from everybody, and I would watch the lives, and I was very intimidated because, remember, I didn't play an instrument. Right. And I did not like showing up at an open mic going, "Do you know this song? Do you know this song?
Can somebody play this for me?
Can you play this for?" Oh my God, I hated it. But I finally got the guts once to show up at her open mic with no plans to sing. I had no intention to sing. But I showed up, and I think I sang, I found 3 that she would play for me. And I'm like, I am a nervous wreck. I've not done this solo in so long, and I never did an open mic. I mean, like I said, I always had bands and stuff. Right. And she was like, "I've got you. Don't worry." And she always did. She always did. And that was at Shannon's was where I met so many people. So I started feeling more comfortable, and it was good. And I started meeting more people where I didn't have to say, "Can you play this? Can you play this?" I started meeting more people. And then it was one night that I told Shannon, "Here's what the songs I wanted to do." And she goes, "Well, I'm going to do something different." And I panicked. I was like, "Oh my God, what? And she goes, "Don't worry. It's going to be like Christmas." I said, "Okay, I'll trust you." Thanks, and Shannon. I went, I went and I was doing Magic Man, and I can't remember what else, but I had them all that I wanted to do. She pulled up Stevie Vegas, Nate Wittenberg, a handful of 6 people. I had a huge band behind me. And I said, "Oh my God, you're right. It does feel like Christmas up here." And so we had a blast. I loved it. And I hadn't played with a band in so long. I was so excited. Sure. And after that, Stevie Vegas came over and introduced himself. And he said, "I would like to build a band around you." And I said, "Well, okay, that's new. What kind of band?" He goes, "Heavy rock." And I laughed. I laughed like a gut laugh. And I said, "Dude, I'm not a rock singer." He cracked up laughing too. And he goes, "I just did a performance with you. You're a rock singer. Don't worry about it." And I said, "Okay." So I posted, and I said, here's some songs I want to try. Okay. Who is interested in doing this? And it was me and Steve and Jim Powers and Rick Wagner and Ted Johnson.
Were they rock, or are you trying to just go to your country?
They were rock. Okay. No, they were rock. And they were all of these people. And we all got up and did it. And oh my God, but we got together to rehearse beforehand, which made me feel better. Jim Powers was great, and he opened his house and let us come and rehearse there. And we got these 3 songs together, and we played them. And Steve was like, "I want to make this. I want to make this a band. I think this would be great." And so thus Living Temptation was born out of that. Okay. And I gotta say, he was throwing things at me I never thought I would play. He was throwing Iron Maiden at me and Judas Priest and stuff like that. But by the same token, I was giving stuff to him that he had never heard before. Miles Kennedy, who, look, I get goosebumps saying that man's name. He is my top rung, end all be all.
He's got a great voice. Inspiration.
Not just a voice, but his work ethic. He's got his hands in so many projects.
Yeah.
And, but I took a masterclass from him during COVID.
Oh, really?
On the internet, and learned a lot from him.
Just like a group masterclass?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It was amazing. Learned a lot. So I was throwing things at Steve that he had never heard. He had never heard of Hailstorm. He had never heard of Miles Kennedy and his, past and stuff like that. So we were able to kind of shoot things to each other, that we wanted to try going forward. Mm-hmm. And he would he's like, okay, here's the songs I want to do. And I would laugh. I'm like, I'm not doing that. Are you kidding me? He goes, cause he said I had right of refusal. I didn't. Cause I was
right of refusal, but we're going to do this anyway.
Right. Cause I was a sucker and I wanted to make him happy cause he is an incredibly talented guitar player. And I wanted to make him happy cause this was his baby. He always said this was his midlife crisis. And so I wanted to make his midlife crisis wonderful. And so, I went home and I would try these songs and I'm going, I don't know, Steve. Well, he said, let's just go to rehearsal and try it. Okay. And I would spend hours trying to work on it. And we would go to rehearsal and he's like, I don't know what you were so worried about. That was great. That was amazing. So Living Temptation was good for like 4 years. We had it good. And then we just started running into, how it goes, the revolving door.
Yeah.
And then when you have that revolving door of people, for whatever reason, you can't add new stuff. So things start getting stale. Mm-hmm. So, and he was getting burned out. I mean, we were loading in, he was doing most of it. He had bought this huge light truss, like huge. And a trailer, and it was a production. We had a production, and it was amazing. But he was getting burned out.
Sure.
And I get that. At the time I didn't, because I was heartbroken that he wanted to be done with it. Because unfortunately for me, I had let that become my entire persona. That was my identity. And when it ended, I was depressed. I was so depressed. I was working with, Johnny Helms, and we had created a duo called Double Shot. So we were doing stuff. I was still doing a little bit here and there with Bentwater, but we had a spinoff with me and Donnie and Jason Brigner, and we had created Jordan Bridge, and we did something with them. And I was playing here and there with a bunch of different people, but I was sad. I was so sad. I still get choked up talking about it. I loved that band. I loved the people in it. Mm-hmm. And I really went into this deep depression. I would rally from my shows that I had to perform, and then I would go home and do nothing. I didn't want to play. I didn't want to play my keys. I didn't want to do any of it. And I had started doing solo stuff here and there. By that time, I'd been playing out a little bit. And I think I got to a point where I'm like, I've got to do something before I spiral completely down to the floor. And that was when I decided to teach myself to create tracks. I felt like I needed something more than just me and keys. And so I started creating the backing tracks that I play with.
Okay.
That opened up a whole new world.
So you had started doing solo stuff, and when the other band folded, you started going more into the solo?
Yep.
So I always ask this, what was your learning curve like going from having a band to doing solo stuff more? Did you feel like a little more pressure? Because when you're playing with a band or you're playing with other people, a little of the pressure is off because not everybody's just looking at you. I mean, even if you are the front person, people are looking at you, but you have other people to rely on.
Sure.
And then when you go all solo,
it's a whole different world.
It's a bit different.
And I had, in all of my years of performing, I'd never been solo because I always had people to play with me. So this was
new
at the age in my 50s. Was something completely new. It was nerve-wracking.
It is, yeah.
Oh, so nerve-wracking. I'm fine with it now, but I still get nervous. You know, before a show, I get a little anxiety-ridden until I'm loaded in and sitting at my keyboard. Then I'm good.
Yeah.
I think my only anxiety is finding a parking place.
I think I only get nervous with two things. One is depending on how large the crowd is. Like bars, restaurants, that's not a big deal at all. But I had played a number of years ago an open for the Charlotte Symphony for their 4th of July celebration in Kannapolis.
Oh, wow.
And most people I've ever played for, it's like 6,000 people or something like that there. So yeah, me and my friend John were asked to play on it. Why did we open? I don't know. You know, maybe he knew somebody, I think, and we got the gig. And that was kind of like, oh, there's a lot of people here. This is different. Kind of felt like Metallica playing in Russia for like, a million people, but it wasn't. And then, I always get nervous from my classical guitar background when somebody just walks up close and just stands there and stares at you while you're playing.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
that's unnerving.
Yeah. Cause when I used to play classical guitar in college, I don't know if you know much about it. But you would do a quote unquote master class. So you would sit and then the other players would sit in basically a semicircle and listen to you play absolutely quiet along with your teacher. And then when you were done,
I get that.
Everybody would give you feedback.
Right. We would do that in voice. So yeah.
Okay.
I get it.
So that's the kind of thing that brought back all that. And you're like, I hate that.
I hated that.
You know? Give me a bar full of drunken people who want you to sing a pop song, you know?
Love that.
Who sing Freebird.
Sure, I will do
Freebird.
Yes, I'll do Don't Stop Believing for the 87th time this week. Absolutely.
Yeah. It's just the way it is. But so I digress, but there was a bit of a learning curve for you.
Yeah.
Were you playing solo shows with just you and piano for a bit?
I was. I started off with just me and keys.
Okay.
And it was okay. It was fun. But for a while, they gave me the nickname, Queen of the Sad Songs because that was what I leaned into was, the sad songs. It wasn't a bad thing. Mm-hmm. It was kind of a cute nickname, but I didn't want that. I didn't want to be known as that. I needed something because I'm not sad, really.
You seem very jovial.
I have my moments. I try to be a positive person. So when I started teaching myself to do, part of it was sad. I was still grieving the loss of that band.
Right.
And I think it kind of wove its way into my playing,
Gotcha.
Because that was my therapy. Music has always been my therapy since I was a kid. So I started doing the tracks, and at first the tracks were sad songs, and I'm like, oh, I have got to break out of this.
So what pushed you to start doing having some backing tracks with you? How did that? Was it just you didn't feel like the piano was enough?
I noticed,
or limited. You felt limited in your playing skills.
I did feel limited. No, not my skills. But I noticed I would watch people, and after a while, I was background noise.
Yeah.
And which was okay in some locations. But otherwise, when I'm playing and you're not paying attention, then I'm not doing my job. I get some locations, background noise is what you're supposed to be. But most places I play, people come specifically to hear me. That's what I wanted. I didn't want to be background noise. I wanted to take people for 3 hours out of the crappy day they've had or the crappy week they've had, and I want to give them 3 hours. I wanted to give them what I needed. I wanted to give them 3 hours of, you don't need to think about all the junk that's going on out there. The world sucks bad enough as it is. Let me give you 3 hours of happiness or fun or memories or whatever. And good for me too, you know. So I started with a set list. That quickly went out the window. But I would start with a set list. I would change the set list up every location I would go to. People started asking for songs. Some I had, some I didn't. That was when I started saying, if you have a request, I'll see if I have it. If I don't, I'll try to find something as close to it as possible. If not, I'll add it to my learn list for the next time I see you. And at the time, I was able to do that because my learn list had very few songs on it.
Okay.
And I was just adding what I wanted, but I had just a handful that people would give me. And I'm like, oh yeah, that would be a great addition. My learn list that I keep on my phone, and I keep it regularly to do this, songs to learn will go on.
Yeah, it's too many.
It's a lot.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
It's a lot.
Just don't, look, I mean, I've got 4 sets, and when I play with my friend John in the Matt and John duo, we had 10 sets, and that was just more for us, so we could just not play the same stuff all the time. But
right.
But when you start getting into that many songs, like it just starts. I mean, maybe some people thrive on it, and God bless you if you do. That's great for you. I don't have that kind of bandwidth. Like, I don't want to sit down and learn, 300 songs and be a karaoke machine for everybody, I'm like, and every time somebody walks in, I'm like, hey, can you do that? I'm like, no, I can do this. What else? Name a band.
I got one last night.
Yeah.
I had been playing soul and R&B and all of that most of the night.
Yeah.
And this girl walks in, she goes, do you have any go-go's? And I guess the look on my face said everything. And she goes, don't look at me like that. I said, do I sound like I have go-go's?
Yeah.
And she cracked up laughing. And she goes, do you have a list? I'm like, you know what? I don't. I said, I have a list that I use, and I scroll through it. I've got a list of like 1,700 songs to choose from now. Because I add 5 to 10 every week.
Okay, I'm just going to say this. I'm sorry, you crazy. 1,700 songs.
I'm insane.
That's just crazy.
I'm insane.
It's crazy talk.
I know. Some have backing tracks, some don't. I don't always play with tracks.
How many songs, just to get curiosity since you brought it up, how many songs do you have with backing tracks?
Out of the 1,700, I would say I've probably
I'm sorry, that just rolled off your lips. Like, out of the 1,700.
Look, that's from 2020 until now. So that's,
Yeah, I've got the same, 50. How does that sound? 1,700. I just don't have that much time.
I wish I'd brought my iPad now. I would say maybe out of that, I've probably 1,000 that have backing tracks, and then 700-ish that are just, me and keys.
Oh my God.
And then some that have tracks and I can play either one.
I'm sorry. How long did it even take you to do 1,000 backing tracks? How many hours?
2020 to 2026.
God, that's us. I mean, bless you. That's a massive amount of work.
Remember, this is my entire life. This is my whole existence.
I get it.
This is all I do.
Yeah.
I am full time. I work more hours now than I ever did at any job, and I get paid way less.
Welcome to the world being a musician.
Yes, yeah. But I am happy. I'm so happy with what I'm doing.
What's that? The running joke is, what is a musician? Oh, it's somebody who packs up $5,000 worth of gear to drive 50 miles to go play for $200.
Exactly.
To pack up all that gear. It's like, oh my gosh, what we do. Just because we love it.
I know.
I think that's insane.
I know.
God bless you. That is great. Wow. Okay. So What are you using to create this backing tracks? Do you have a studio of recording stuff that you work with?
So I have Band in a Box.
I had Band in a Box.
I love Band in a Box.
I never really used it well.
I love Band in a Box. I had it was a long learning curve to figure out how to do it. But I use Band in a Box. Certain times I will look for stems for certain songs. If I can't get the right sound, I'll look for stems out there and pull them in and use Audacity and put everything together. So it really depends on the song. Certain songs I'll do from scratch on Band in a Box. Certain ones I'll pull stems. Sometimes I'll do both, especially if I'm looking for backing vocals. If I don't want to do all the backing vocals, I can find the backing vocals out on YouTube and assemble them in Audacity with everything and create the track that way.
So when you're playing with the backing tracks, I'm curious because I don't do it, but I'm working towards doing it in a different way. I'm working on doing Middle Eastern oud with doing a whole bunch of backing tracks. Maybe I'll show you some stuff later.
Yeah.
So my experience, my limited experience, because I haven't done it all yet, I've only done about 4 or 5 tracks, is getting used to playing along with a recording because it's not human, of course.
Right.
So it is very rigid. And you, being the musician, get into it. And we as people, if you don't know and you're listening, as musicians, we tend to speed up or slow down, and you are trying to add accents, but you can't do that with a recording. So how does that work for you? Or does it ever throw you off when you're trying to put some weight into sections or accent or push and pull with the music? How's that work?
Occasionally I've been thrown off here or there. This is where my rehearsal time comes in because you're right. Playing with tracks. People think, playing with tracks is just karaoke. That's easy. No, it's so not easy. And it's funny. I went to do karaoke a few months ago. I'm like, why is this so hard? I was so used to playing with a band that would follow me. Yeah. And I'm going to karaoke and I'm like, this sucks. I'm not doing this again. But playing with a recording is, I leave the click at the beginning. I have like a click of 4 that gives me the timing. That helps me stay in my lane, so to speak. I don't play to the click, but that first 4 beats will help me kind of keep that in my head.
Sure.
I have the way my sound system is set up is it's behind me. Okay. I don't get feedback or anything, but it's behind me so I can hear everything and I don't miss anything at all. I have learned it's weird. I use my foot for my piano pedal and I noticed that my other foot arbitrarily will tap to the beat. I didn't realize I was doing it until I saw it in a video. And now I'm like, oh wow, my foot's actually doing that unconsciously and I didn't even realize it. Cause I couldn't figure out why my left foot was sore. Cause I have these 2 toes that had broken bones years ago. Yeah. And if you walk on them in the wrong shoes too long, they start to hurt. I couldn't understand by the end of the show, why is my left foot sore? And I'm watching a video. I'm like, that's why. I had no clue I was doing it. So that helps me keep the beat.
We do some weird stuff. I noticed I did it, but a friend of mine, I was showing him a video of this trio that I played with, but it was years ago, even though I still play with the group. And I was showing him this video, this cover we did. And he goes, what are you doing with your hand? And he's like, I'm like, oh yeah, I already know I have a tick. And he said, what are you talking about? He said, right there. And I was like, yeah, that's a tick. When I play, even though, like, let's say I'm strumming through some chords, if sometimes in a break in the music, I take my hand and I just slide it up and I come back for no reason other than to like just shake out my hand, I guess. I just go. Yep. And I'm like, he's like, I've never seen anybody else do that. It doesn't mess up your time. But I was like, I don't know. It's a tick. I know I did it.
I think we all have them of some sort to some degree.
Yeah.
But yeah, like things like your song. Your song starts with keys. Mm. So I have that 4 count, and then I've got to go into the keys, and I have to keep on that pace so that when the bass comes in, it comes in at the right time. Otherwise, it sounds off. Occasionally, I might be off like a half a beat or something like that. But when it comes back in, I just jump right back into it. So yeah, I'm not perfect by any stretch, but I get as close as I can.
I just know playing with the backing track sometimes it's, from my own experience, there's that difficulty of like timing.
It is. Because it can be tough.
It doesn't stop. It is the same every time. And we as people are not. We're not perfect. Exactly. So how much adjusting, I'm guessing if there are male songs that a guy has sung, you're adjusting the keys to fit your range as a woman, because generally women have, if you don't know, have a higher range than guys do. So we change keys. So, or I have to change a female song, to fit my lower voice.
Sure. I'm fortunate in that I have a pretty decent range. Okay. Like I can do Dream On. I can hit the high note on Dream On and stuff like that. But I try to keep things somewhere in my wheelhouse. But yeah, I've had to transpose. I do transpose certain songs. What's funny is certain songs that I had expected to transpose that I didn't have to. I added This Masquerade and On Broadway, and I didn't realize that George Benson is right in my wheelhouse.
Didn't even know those songs.
Oh, okay. I love those songs. They're great songs. Jazz songs from the 80s.
Okay, I'll have to check it out.
Oh, yeah.
I don't do a lot of jazz. My well is kind of ranges like 60s through early 2000s rock stuff, and I'll throw in some country. But that's kind of my, although people are like, man, you've got a range. I'm like, well, I'm not doing like, jazz and flamenco up here. I'm doing like rock,
Right.
How long does the average backing track take you to put together?
When I first started, I was only able to do like one a day, if that, because it was taking me so long to learn how to do it. But like yesterday, I added, let me see here, new songs. I added
another 20 yesterday.
3.
So now I got 1,720.
1, 2, 3, 4. I did 4 yesterday. And the one that was most difficult, because it has horns in it, is Rubber Band Man by the Spinners.
Are you learning the songs as you do the backing tracks, or do you like know the songs beforehand?
I usually know the songs beforehand. It's very seldom that I'll learn a song that I don't know.
Right.
I had to learn one. There was one, and this sticks out just because I love her. My friend in Lincolnton, City Cellar, she came to my first show, and from the beginning kept asking me to do this song over and over and over and over. And it was a country song, and I didn't know it. I had never heard of it before. And for 6 months, she kept on and on and on. For some reason, I'm blanking on it at the moment.
Tennessee Whiskey?
Oh, I don't even want to talk about that song. Let's not discuss that. No, it just, she would go on and on and on. And I'm like, okay. And it was called Till You Can't, or Till I Can't. And when I first learned it, I'm like, okay, I got to get past the whole getting choked up and my voice cracking because of the songs, what it's about.
Sure.
And it was, all about take phone calls from your mother till you can't. Work on that car with your granddad till you can't. You can always put a diamond on the girl's hand until you can't. And I'm like, okay, this is going to be 2 weeks of me crying through a song till I can get through. And it's not a sad song.
Right.
It's a very upbeat song. It's a very inspirational song, but it took me a while. And so I learned the song first. and I learn the keys first.
Gotcha.
And so that's the process. If I don't know the song, I'll learn the song first, play through it with the keys with the regular song, play through it and learn it, work on the backing track, and then play with the track to make sure I have the timing down and the spots down that I have to stop and the accents here and there.
How involved does it get with the backing tracks? Do you, is it just basic guitar part, drums?
It depends on the song.
Yeah. Are you going to add in string sections and all that kind of
Well,
stuff?
will it go round in circles?
Oh, really?
Horns. Wow. So that took me a while yesterday. Telephone Line by ELO took me 2 days because of all of the sound effects and the dialing and the timing and the little intricacies of that entire song. Because I knew if I didn't get the intricacies in there, you're going to lose the message. I don't care how many times you've heard that song. That song means something to somebody somewhere.
Sure.
It means something to me. Okay, so no one's answering. Can't you just let it ring a little longer? That was on my answering machine with the cassette tape when I was in my first apartment. So stuff like that, I want to get the intricacies right because it does mean something to somebody. They're going to remember those intricacies. And if they're not there, they're going to be like, that's not the same song. So I try to get it as close. It's not identical. Yeah. I don't want it to be identical, but I try to get it as close as possible.
So do you put answering my question, do you put a little of yourself in there?
I do.
You're not just are you trying to do like exact versions of the song, or are you just
not exact
approximating?
Not exact, not identical, but as close as possible on certain songs. Now, on the other side of that coin, I love what I do, but you get burned out after a while doing the same thing over and over and over, no matter how many songs people ask you to learn. So I tried to do, so I had a friend, my friends Tammy and Rick. They come to see me every time I'm local, sometimes 3 days in a row they'll come.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. That's a reason that I add new stuff all the time too, because if they're there 3 nights in a row, I don't want them hearing the same set.
You have 1,700 songs.
Exactly.
You could play. What are you talking about?
Play for 2 weeks straight.
Yeah, they could come for to a month's worth of shows and never hear the same song.
Right, and that's why I tell them all the time. You're the reason that I learn new stuff all the time because I don't want y'all getting bored.
You are so dedicated.
That I am. I will say that.
That's fantastic.
So on the flip side, I got a little bored.
Mm-hmm.
Rick had asked me to do No Diggity for months.
Okay. Oh, yes. Yeah, I know.
And I was trying. I was trying to figure out the track. I was trying to figure out the timing. I was trying to figure out the rap parts. And for the life of me, I can rap. Don't get me wrong. White Girl's got some soul. I could not get it right. I couldn't get it right. And so I put it aside for a while and I went and I started reorganizing stuff and threw on my Spotify. And I love Postmodern Jukebox. I love Postmodern Jukebox.
Okay. I don't know what that is. Is that a band?
No. They are kind of. They're almost their own genre. So what they do is they take current music and completely change it to something else. So they can do Metallica in a bluesy version.
Is that almost like the AI tracks I've seen where
but they did it first.
The Trooper and they turn it into soul.
Right. Exactly. Exactly what that is. But they did it first. And they do it in where my heart is, which I love New Orleans jazz. Love New Orleans jazz. So they do a lot of these in the old 30s and 40s. You know, they've got the little pinup outfits and the zoot suits and everything, and they go on tour and stuff.
That's fantastic.
It's really cool. So I was like, all right, I'm going to try and figure this out. And I tried it, and I tried it, and I tried it, and I tried it. And I finally got a New Orleans version of No Diggity. Everybody goes nuts when I play it. They love it. They absolutely love it. So I've added a few more. I did Sweet Child of Mine, which I hate that song.
It's a great song.
I'm sorry to anybody that loves that song. I hate that song. I think it's because we ended every show with Living Temptation 2 weekends a year.
With that song.
For 4 years.
Yeah.
Or 2 weekends every week, every month for 4 years with that song.
Right.
I hate that song. But people ask me to sing it and I'm like, okay. I'm going to do this, but it's not going to be the way you know it.
Yeah.
And so I did it. And the one guy that kept bugging me for it, he was being a smart aleck. And I did it. And he's like, I think I like that version better.
So I got to ask, just because I'm curious, and you probably don't give a damn, honestly, no, I'm totally serious. Because I'm sure you've heard over the last couple of years, like all these rock musicians going on stage and they have backing tracks to help them out and supplement vocals and stuff.
Sure.
And then I've found a lot more, even locally, musicians who are doing stuff like yourself with backing tracks. And of course you have, just like everything else, people who criticize and people who don't care.
Yeah.
You know, there's people like, oh, it's not really, you should be doing this, you should be doing that. I even have people, on my pedal board, I have a harmonizer to build up the choruses of songs. And people are like, yeah, I love it. Like a friend of mine was over and he's like, yeah, I wouldn't really use that. I was like, yeah, dude, it breaks up the sound. If it's just you and your guitar after a little while, it gets boring.
Yeah.
That's why I have all this stuff on a pedal board.
Believe me, there are times I get tired of hearing my own voice.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So what's obviously your point of view with backing tracks? It's not even a thing for you.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care. Here's how I look at it. When I first started doing it, I started with the Beat Buddy, the little foot pedal Beat Buddy. And I started with just that. So it was just drums and bass and me and keys. And it still sounded hollow. That was when I started, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to kind of venture into the tracks thing. And I talked to Shannon Lee and I'm like, I am a nervous wreck. What are people going to say? What are they going to think? And she goes, who the F cares?
Yeah.
Who cares? And I said, you're right. And I see, I'm part of these Facebook groups and I really need to stop reading because they just make me angry. They make me angry and I don't like to be angry. But, bless you.
Thank you.
But I read.
Well, like the classic rock thing though, or what is it?
Cover Band Central. They are a bunch of miserable human beings. But the way I look at it is, and I tell them this and they don't like it, but I say it every time. You're not my target audience. You're not coming to support me.
Yeah.
You are not the people that are coming to see what I do and enjoy what I do. The people that come to see me aren't musicians. And the ones that are musicians are good people. And they're supportive and they understand that Ozzy, Aerosmith, anybody that's big has the damn monitors on their stage and they use tracks.
Yeah.
Everybody does it.
Yeah. I mean, I did see, I saw an interview. I forget his name off the top of my head. He's a singer for Extreme, Gary Sharon, I think. So he was talking one time and it was really interesting to me because you bring up the monitors on stage and if by monitors, I don't mean speakers. I mean, the lyrics are on there and they asked him about it. And he said, we noticed you use monitors on stage. Why are you doing, don't you know the words? And he had a really good point. He said, no, I know all the words to all our songs and everything we do. He goes, here's the reason I use it. I could be singing and in the middle of a song and I'm singing to a large audience and something happens and distracts me in the middle of what I'm doing because I see something going on. Maybe there's a fight and I need to get security over there. Maybe somebody's throwing something at me from the stage and I need to and I all of a sudden lose my place. That's there and I can get myself back on right away. For us as cover musicians in that certain way, I'm not opposed to the iPad. I know some people aren't for it. look, if you got 1,700 songs, I can't imagine that you have got every lyric to every song running through your head.
And I've only been playing keys since 2020. You think I know all the chords?
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
And how many times have you, I know it's happened to me. I can't imagine it hasn't happened to anybody else. You go to start a song. You've probably played it crud loads of times and you forget how it goes. You can't hear the melody in your head. And I know that I've done that with guitar parts. I'm in the middle of something. I've played this a billion times. I'm like, just because you have all this other, stimuli running through your head.
Or if you have two of the songs back to back that are similar.
Yeah.
I have got to watch myself with that. I've noticed that there are two songs, that I cannot do, Neon Moon and Under the Boardwalk. I cannot do them back to back because I'll screw up the second one because I hear the first one in my head for whatever reason because they're so similar. We used to do the same thing. We still do that with the Black Crowes tribute band. We have to separate certain songs because they're so similar. We'll go into and Living Temptation was the same way. High voltage that I was with that band. All of our bands, we have had to create set lists where we don't do that.
I do that with certain songs that are in the same key.
Yes.
Like I'll separate whatever Miss Robinson from something else because I'm like, it starts to sound samey, so I have to do something else. So the backing track stuff, you're doing it long enough now. You're good enough with it where you're just like, I'm not going to take somebody else's criticism because they're not going to worry about it.
Because they're not paying my bills.
Yeah.
They're not showing up to support the venue, buying drinks or buying food or whatever. They're, people that come to see me are coming to support me or they want to see my setup. I get a lot of compliments from some musicians that want to see how my setup is done. And they love it. The sound is great. I've got everything dialed in because I've been doing it solid hours and hours and hours.
Sure.
Everything is, and I can adjust. That's why I have two iPads. I don't have my iPads up here. You've seen me.
Yeah.
I connect with my audience.
Sure.
It's not like I'm reading it all night. I talk to the people. I ask if they've got requests. I joke in the middle of something and.
Yeah, you can tell some performers that I've seen who have iPads. I mean, I use an iPad. I don't have a problem with it. But I've seen videos of myself where I'm like looking, every 2 seconds. I try not to. I'll take a quick glance, now that I'm playing certain sets much longer. Like, I don't need it. Like, I've got everything pretty much straight. It's almost like just put the crutch there because I'm going to forget something.
Exactly. We're in our 50s.
Yeah.
We're not going to remember everything.
We're not that old yet. Stop. But, it's, I'm not the Rolling Stones.
Exactly.
I know
We're playing in bars.
Yeah.
It's not that deep.
Yeah. It's okay.
Look, I've got, when I'm with the Black Crowes thing, we're traveling. My keyboard, I can now stand and play. Thank you very much. I've got my iPad over to the side. It's not in my face, but it's there.
Yeah.
Because I've got certain sounds that I use and certain settings that I use that I need to make sure that they're correct so that they sound right.
Yeah.
We're playing to big crowds. We're traveling state to state to state to state. Not one time has any venue said, "Oh, you can't have that." They don't care. Nobody cares.
Yeah. It's
the only ones that care are the ones that aren't doing what we're doing.
I would think that out of the people who are on Cover Band Central, some of them maybe just don't play out
exactly
regularly. And if they do play out, they play once a month or something with their band.
Right.
And they have a lot of judgments. Now, I'm judgmental. Don't get me wrong. I'm judgmental. I will die on the no shorts and flip flops on stage hill. I will not.
I don't care.
You know what?
I
don't care. But when I first started playing, I've seen pictures of me in that. And I went, that looks awful. Looks horrible for me.
Right.
If you want to go on stage, I've seen people wearing their running shoes on stage. And I'm like, if that's the way you're going to go on, great. I'm at a certain point in my age and my career where I think if you're going to be on stage, you should kind of semi look like you're the person who's on stage.
Absolutely.
And not like somebody who just rolled in from a jog.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or you just came in from the beach. That's just me.
Lemmy said, nobody wants to go see the person next door.
Yeah.
If you're going to be on stage, look like you belong there, or something to that effect. And I certainly try to do that.
You definitely do that.
I love it. I love it. It's like a costume every time I get to go play.
I only got to see you the one time over at Great Wagon Road, but I love the fact that you have like a show. Like I'm
Lights
going to
and-
see,
yeah.
like, I mean, I do lights and stuff too, but I mean, I'm like, you got this thing going on. Like, and I'm like, this is really cool. You've got the Carrie Ann show.
Right. And I want people to be entertained when, by the time they're done, say that was fun.
Well, my curiosity about that is, how did you get there? Like, you didn't just start from square one with that. You obviously had some kind of progression, added this, added that. So how did you get to do, the bigger show that you kind of do right now?
That was not planned.
Yeah.
None of this was planned. To be really honest, none of this was planned. I can look in my memories and I can see where I started. I played my first show on the patio at Wayback Burgers in Mint Hill. I had my keyboard, my chair. I had a chair in front of me with a skull tip jar. That was it. I had no signs. I had no nothing. And it was me and the keyboard and a canopy. And I am so glad I had the canopy because my first show, I had a rain squall. My friend Kathy Simmons came to the rescue with tarps to cover everything really quick for the squall. And Wayback said, we understand if you want to quit. I said, oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not. We're finishing this. And the squall was like for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
It was done. Kathy took her tarps back and I finished that show. There was no way I was going to end it.
Nice.
So that was my first show. And that was kind of where I started. And little by little, I would go out when I could to support other people playing. And I would get ideas from what they were doing. I wouldn't steal, arbitrarily exact what they were doing, but I would get an idea from here and there. When I added the QR codes, I printed them out on paper and put them on tables. That was a game changer. That increased my tips by 30-40%, depending on the location, because some locations are very old school.
Yeah.
And they don't want your stuff on the tables. Right. And other places, and they're also old school. Nobody wants to use a QR code.
Right.
So they would use cash.
You got to be bi-generational.
Yeah, absolutely. So I would slowly add things here and there. I started adding the signage on an easel. It was just my picture and my name and my Facebook and blah, blah, blah. And I got to the point where people were like, you should do merchandise. And I'm going, who in the hell's going to wear a shirt with my face on it? I'm not doing merchandise.
And people do.
A year later, I got with Billy Jones of Throwdown Jones, and he does graphic design. And I said, so I'm looking at a logo. I said, I want to incorporate my vintage mic, my red lipstick, which is what I usually wear, and just me and my keys. And I'm trying to figure something out and I can't. And he's like, well, I'm in the middle of something right now, but I'll get back to you. I said, okay. 3 hours later, he sent me my logo. And it's just the silhouette of my hair and my lips and the vintage mic and my keys. And it's very simple. And it says Carrie Ann Live and my phone number and my
It's great.
It's very simple, but it's perfect perfect. I've never found the need to overhaul it with AI or anything. It's exactly what I need. And now I have people wearing t-shirts with my face on it, which is just so surreal to me that happens. And I'll be at shows and people will show up with the shirts that they bought. When I go to our Black Crowes tribute, my bass player, Colden, shows up with the shirt with my face on it all the time. And I get a kick out of it.
I've said it before on the podcast, but I always just think it's almost nicer to have some kind of notoriety locally rather than, try to be this like large artist being nationwide, international, like getting to a certain point in the age we're at. I think it's nicer to have the notoriety and the ability to do what we do as opposed to, I'm trying to make it. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, no, I'm hashing out a really decent living doing what I'm doing musically here.
Right.
In the Charlotte region for the most part.
I have people that tell me all the time, why don't you go out for The Voice? Why don't you go out for America's Got Talent? Blah, 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 blah. I was on Junior Star Search when I was 16. I won enough money to put myself through college where I didn't have to work. That was enough for me. And that was back then.
Right.
That was 85, 86.
Mm-hmm.
That was enough to make me never want to do those competition shows. And they've only gotten worse.
Oh God, they own those people.
Yeah. And I've auditioned 3 times for The Voice and 3 times they don't want me. I'm like, okay, I'm good. They don't want me. There's a reason. I don't want to do all that. That means
you're not their target audience.
Exactly. They know, absolutely. And they try to, like you said, they mold people. I'm kind of, you can't really mold me. I am what I am, and there's no changing this.
Well, you're older. They're not going to change your mind. You're going to have your own set of opinions.
Exactly. And I got a big mouth and I talk back. So that's not going to work.
Yeah, but you're knowledgeable. I mean, those young people going into like The Voice or whatever it is, they start to learn that like they kind of own you for a while. Any songs you do, they get a piece of. Mm-hmm. If they send you out on tour, they get a large piece of it. Like it's not you're selling their brand. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
And that's, I think people think it's all glamorous. And look, I'm on the show and now I'm just going to be famous.
That's not how it works.
Maybe Kelly Clarkson. She was the first one.
Yep. And
that has sustained her for the last 20 years?
Yeah. Carrie Underwood. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I see people that have been to The Voice and have been to America's Got Talent or whatever. We're all playing the same circuit still.
That right there.
You're
not any better than I am.
I don't begrudge them. I think that's great. Wonderful. You all are doing great things now, and I'm happy for you. I don't want to cancel my shows with people that have come to see me regularly for a possibility.
Right.
I don't want to say, oh, the grass might be greener over there. I want to water my own grass. I'm good right here. I love my shows. Even, Great Wagon is a blast. It's fun and it's a party atmosphere and we have a great time. Same with City Cellar. Same with, Tab and Vine. Same with Grapes. We have a great time. Dance, sing, have a great time. Sometimes there are ones that it's a little more low key. I get to talk to people. I get to learn about people.
Yeah.
Shuck and Shack. Case in point. Last weekend, not a huge crowd, but it was decent. By the end of the night, there was the prettiest lady at the counter, at the bar counter, and she had gotten up and started talking with some of my regulars that were over to my right. And by the end of the night, she was finally having the guts to come ask me to play a couple songs. She was up dancing and singing and having the best time. And her husband came over to me and said, she has had the roughest week. She has been trying to get jobs, and this one that she really, really wanted fell through, and she's been crushed, and she's just been a mess. And she came over and hugged me and said, "You have turned my awful, awful week into something so much better, and I'm so much happier now, and I have a renewed feeling now." That
kind of stuff.
That's why I do what I do. It's certainly not to get rich, because I'm not.
Right.
I do it to take people out of their own head, because that's why I do it for me, to take myself out of my own head for a while. If I have to sit and ruminate, no, that's not going to be good for me. I have to stay busy. Taking people out of their own head for 3 hours, 4 hours, 2 hours, for however long, that is better than any tip. What she said to me, that was better than any tip you could give me. That's better than any packed crowd I could possibly have. That meant a lot.
When you get those comments sometimes, they almost take you back. You're like, oh my gosh, get those comments of like, why are you here? Like, shouldn't you be on we were playing some time ago last summer out at Promenade on Providence on the green.
That's a cool
summer. Yeah, they were doing the stage this year.
Oh, cool.
And so we played, and well, there were a couple of compliments we got, but one of them, some older guy came over, and older than me, and he came over and he said, "It's about effing time." And I said, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Some of the acts they've had out here," and I'm not putting any act down that's played there. He just said, "You guys know what you're doing."
Yeah.
They've had people out here that don't know what they're doing. Mm-hmm. And then another guy came out, and he's like, I think it was me, my friend John, and my friend Mike playing. And me and John are really good at harmonies because we've been playing together like almost 20 years.
See, that's so cool.
Him so much more better than me because I'm not a harmony player, but I can keep my harmony part while he's singing. And the guy came over, he's like, "You guys are all singing. Why are you guys here doing this? You guys should be on a bigger stage somewhere. I could just tell the difference than some other, folks we've heard." And I was like, "Well, thanks." I was like, "But I'm good. I like where I'm at. I don't need to be trying to conquer the world. I'm getting too old for that.
Y'all are great. Harmonies set you apart.
Yeah.
You don't, and I say this all the time. Same with my Black Crowes band. Daniel and I was telling Daniel when we were at rehearsal on Sunday, we were listening to ourselves, and I said, it is hysterical. There are times that I will hear a recording of us, and I don't know if it's him or me singing. We're so similar with our soul sound and then we blend so well together.
That's nice.
With our harmonies that it sounds like a whole third voice. It's awesome. And you don't hear people
do it because they can't
very much.
So a lot of people can't.
It sets you apart.
Yeah.
It truly sets you apart from other people. Shannon Lee, I love to sing with her because she's like me. She can find a harmony anywhere.
Yeah.
And it's great, being able to sing with someone who can either hold their own if I harmonize or who can harmonize with me is a difficult find.
Yeah, I'm not the great harmonizer, but I can hold my part while somebody else is doing theirs.
Even that speaks volumes.
Yeah, some people can't. Some people that get really whoa, what are you doing?
Right.
So.
Right. That was the one thing that that's the one music theory thing that stuck in my head was I can find a harmony anywhere. I
should practice it more, and I get sidetracked. I'm always like, that's something I should practice, but I don't sing with anybody much anymore, so
yeah.
I'm like, okay.
Well, and what's funny is when I play some of the Black Crowes stuff with my solo shows, I automatically want to go to the harmony. I'm like, no. And I have to get my head before I even start the song. Don't do the harmony, Carrie Ann. Do the regular song.
Yeah. Oh gosh, it is definitely a skill that a lot of musicians don't have, and they should.
Exactly.
And I would include myself in that I definitely need to work on it even more than I do. Let's jump around a little bit though. Okay. We've been talking about Carrie Ann, the solo artist, and doing covers, but I want to talk about some of your original music a little bit because you sent over a couple of tunes. So I wanted to find out about that. So how long have you been writing your own stuff anyway? Like, just to backtrack, has it been a long time, or is this just something in recent years?
So, having not played an instrument, playing or creating a song, so to speak, was unheard of for me. I can write lyrics all day long. I can write songs. And I've been writing poetry since I was a kid. That was another part of therapy for me, was writing poetry.
Yeah.
And I had a friend who was in the music community. He's not around anymore. I'm not sure what happened, but I think he just kind of stepped away from music. We used to talk all the time, and he would read my stuff. And he said, "Why don't you write?" I said, "Nobody wants to hear my story." And he said, "Carrie Ann, you've got so many stories. You've got so much of life that you've lived, so many things you've gone through, so much that you've grown from. People need to hear your stories because people need to know that they're not alone. They need to know that they feel that someone else feels the same way that they do." And I was like, we'll see. And I just kind of sidestepped it.
Gotcha.
A couple years later, I was like, I'm going to mess around with it a little more. I needed some quote unquote therapy. So I started writing again, but it was just lyrics. It was not music because I didn't know how to get to that point.
Gotcha.
Even though I had music theory, I just having not learned an instrument.
Yeah, it's a barrier.
Yeah, it was tough. So I wrote a couple of songs and I would hand them over. I handed them over to Donnie, was one of Donnie Dover. And then I handed one over to Joe Delapina. And I'm like, can you do something with that? And
you got to see the hands. I wish I had video.
Yeah, jazz hands. Just, shoo, go do something with that. And they came back with really cool stuff.
Yeah.
Now, neither song that they did was anything that I've moved forward with yet, but I do want to eventually. But it was cool to hear my stuff put to music.
Right.
And I started playing one of them, just me and keys. I started playing that song out. And people loved it. And I was like, all right, Ben, maybe there was something to what you said to me a couple of years ago that somebody wanted to hear my story. So then when I started playing keys, things started to click a little more. Then when I started doing the backing tracks, it was like someone flipped a light switch on. I went nuts. I literally could not stop writing. I wrote probably 14 songs, 15 songs in a matter of 2 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah. And I hadn't put any of it to music yet, but I could hear it in my head. And I heard what I wanted it to sound like. So at that point, I started moving forward, and I contacted Boo English at Not Whole Studios. And I said, so I got some songs. I want to move forward. But what I've done is I've created backing tracks with Band in a Box so I can play them out, and kind of gauge interest. And I've got a small handful that have...
Oh, sorry. I thought I had my phone off.
That's okay. So I've got a handful that I've played out that I've tried to get feedback from, so I know what's good and what is getting people's attention and what's not. So I've got a handful.
Okay.
And he said, yeah, no, that's fine. We can work with the tracks. Well, then he started listening to the tracks, and with Band in a Box, if you export it, it kind of loses its latency and it sounds kind of digital. It sounds digital.
Okay.
And you can tell. Me playing it out is fine, but for recording purposes, it wasn't going to work.
Gotcha.
I had no plans to bring musicians in, But he was like, we should really get someone in to do this, and we should get someone in to do that, and I said, well, I've got people I can choose from. I'm good. So let me reach out and see if they're interested. And so I knew who I wanted to reach out to.
Okay.
The minute I reached out, they were like, yes, 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 yes. Send it to me. Let me learn it.
Cool.
And I'm good. And so I reached out and got my people together.
Were they all musicians in town?
All musicians in town.
Okay.
There was one, and I can't remember his name offhand, but there was one that Donnie sent one of my songs out to do a third guitar part on one of my songs that actually worked out really, really well. And he's in Nashville, so I'm very honored to have a Nashville person on my album. So I reached out and got everybody was on board. And so I think it took a good part of a year, I think, of getting everybody in and, once a month to get parts done and parts sent in and blah, blah, blah. And it took about a year to do, because I was taking my time. Boo was taking his time too. He said, I really want this to be perfect, because he was also playing bass on most of my songs, and he was doing hand percussion on stuff. And he's like, I hear this and I hear that, and he'll play the song and he's like, I want to add this. And I'm like, I am in no rush. Whatever you're hearing, have at it. I have what I want it to sound like.
Sure.
But having each person put their little nuance on each song, I'm addicted now. I love that. I love that I wrote these songs, but these players have put pieces of themselves to it.
Absolutely.
And I love it. I love it. And what Boo did was he saved all the songs with the backing track of the people playing, my vocals of the backing vocals, because I am my own backup singer. And he saved all of that and took my lead vocal out so that I can use these to play out.
Cool.
So when I'm playing these out, they are my players.
That's awesome.
On here. And like when I do Carolina Summer Blues, the minute that harmonica hits, I smile so big, because Joe was like, I don't know how this is going to sound. I don't know that this is really going to add anything. And that harmonica hits, that adds a lot. And so I smile every time I play it, because when that harmonica hits, I'm like, Joe, you were wrong. It added a ton.
That's great. You sent over a couple of tracks, so I think it was 3 Decades Dry and Intoxicating Love.
Yep.
Can we take a listen to one of them?
Sure.
And then you can fill us in about it?
Sure.
Which one you want to listen to?
Let's do 3 Decades Dry.
All right. This is 3 Decades Dry by Carrie Ann.
Started drinking at 15, couldn't cope with the pain. Blackout drunk, hiding the truth, driving me insane. Lost it all along the way, but one thing I never lost, my will to stay sober, no matter the cost. 3 decades dry, 33 years strong, I made it through the darkness, is where I belong. Against the odds, I stand tall and free, unbroken, undefeated, that's the way I choose to be. Homeless nights, lost jobs, friends fade away, but I held tight to my sobriety day by day. Through the roughest storm, I stayed true, rising from the ashes like a phoenix anew. Against the odds, I found my way. 3 decades dry, 33 years strong, I made it through the darkness, is where I belong. Against the odds, I stand tall and free, unbroken, undefeated, that's the way I choose to be.
Carrie Ann, I love the track. Can you fill us in? Is that a one you recorded here in Charlotte? And
It is.
were they all local musicians on it?
All local musicians, yep.
Who was playing on that track? Do you remember?
Yeah, no, I had to actually look it up, because I have most of the same players, but I've used a few on the certain songs and then none on others. So I had to actually pull it back up. Boo did bass on almost all of my tracks, on all of my songs that I did.
Okay.
And hand percussion. Joe Delapina brought in the harmonica. Brian Porter was on lead guitar. Donnie Dover did his keys and synthesizer, and Ted Kalamatis did the drums.
Cool. So going from the track of this song, is this a self-reflective track?
So here's what happened.
Or about somebody?
No, well, nah. So this was not supposed to be this.
Okay.
3 Decades Dry was about me being sober.
Okay.
That's how this song started. This song started out to be my anthem of being sober.
Okay.
And the more I was writing, the more I was going in this odd direction. And I'm like, okay, I'm just going to follow this weird direction that it's going. Something's telling me to go in this weird direction.
Gotcha.
So the more I started writing, I'm like, yeah, this is not this is not about my sobriety. This is about that, and everybody has had it. That love, that one love that you cannot get out of your head for whatever reason, that was in your life, may still be there, may not, but that one person that sticks in the back of your brain as, yeah, they were intoxicating. I would get drunk on them easily.
Okay.
So I'm like, yeah, I'm going to follow that. And that's how that came about.
3 Decades Dry is about?
No, the Intoxicating Love was 3 Decades Dry is my anthem.
Okay.
That is my sobriety anthem.
Gotcha.
And it's, when I started writing Intoxicating Love, I was like, these two, they're so different.
Yeah. Okay.
But one started as the anthem of my sobriety, and I'm like, okay, I'm following. This is a way different thing. So Intoxicating Love, I had to shove over to the side and follow a wholly different direction.
Right.
But 3 Decades Dry was about, it is my self-reflection. It is the story of me at starting 15 that I would get blackout drunk.
Oh my gosh.
And nobody knew it. My mom was a single mother. She was working ungodly hours. I was a latchkey kid. I'm Gen X. I was a latchkey kid,
I know.
you know? So I was left to my own devices a lot. And so nobody knew that I was drinking, to get blackout drunk, drinking Everclear directly from the bottle. Oof. Yeah. I was hardcore, man.
Oh gosh. Yeah. I mean, us latchkey kids, there was a lot going on there.
It was, but it was, I had been through a lot, even by the age of 15. And I was, the only thing I knew how to numb the pain. We didn't know anything about therapy. We didn't have the internet. There
was none of that stuff back then.
We had alcohol.
Yeah. Yeah. And suck up your feelings.
Yeah. Shut up or I'll give you something to cry about.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So.
Good gosh. We won't even go on for us versus the other generations.
Oh, I know. No, because the other generations are going through their own kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But, we didn't have the resources available to us that they've got now.
It's a completely different world that we grew up in. You don't think about it, but it is really.
Exactly.
And it seems like so foreign, but I mean, having grown up in it, you think, well, why isn't everybody like this? Why are you not doing this? What's the problem? Yep. I did see something somebody talked about the other day on a YouTube video just about Gen X, and they were just talking about how Gen X is kind of like reclusive. Like we don't get involved in stuff because we just don't want to.
Right.
Gen
X is the forgotten generations because we want you to forget about us.
Just leave us alone.
Leave me alone.
We know how to deal with our stuff. Just leave us alone. Don't make us come in and fix everything. Right. Because we will, and then you'll be sorry.
Right. Yeah. And then you'll cry.
Yeah. And then you'll cry, and we'll tell you to shut up or give you something to cry about.
Exactly.
Well, I'll tell you what, since you brought it up too, can we take a quick listen to Intoxicating Love as well?
Absolutely.
We'll go back to back.
Absolutely. Sounds good.
Here's Intoxicating Love by Carrie Ann.
Whiskey kisses different to you, like shots of tequila on ice. Our bodies moving in sync, like rum and coke in a glass. Drunk on love, we're a perfect match. Intoxicated by your touch, can't get enough. We're like a fine wine, getting better with time. Our love is like a strong drink, hits you like a crime. Steaming nights, passion so divine. We're mixing it up like a cocktail of desire. On my neck, driving me insane. Your love is like burning in my blood, it remains. Sipping on the sweetness of your love so pure. We're on fire, a love that will endure. Your touch is like vodka.
So, Carrie Ann, is this also recorded at Boost Spot?
It is.
Same players?
Same players on this one.
So, in checking some of your stuff out on Spotify, did you release this as an album, or were the songs released as individual singles?
So they're basically an EP.
Okay.
I sell the CD, and a flash drive. The CD is, 15. See, somebody wants me.
I don't know why this is going off. Sorry.
The CD is 15 and the flash drive is 20. The flash drive has all of the songs, plus it has background to each song, why I wrote each song.
Okay.
And then it also has pictures of me that have not been released and pictures of us at the recording studio and stuff like that. So it's got a little bit of some extras on the flash drive.
Okay.
And it also comes with a little, I was very big on marketing with this. The flash drive comes with a keychain and it comes with an adapter. So the adapter allows you to play it on your phone, on your TV, on your computer, in your car.
Wow.
Etc. So,
oh man, I'm going to be picking your ear about that.
Yeah.
And your brain. Sorry, I said ear.
I even got a flash drive that was square. So, and all you do is twist it for the USB to come out. So it has the same cover art as my CD.
Nice.
Yeah.
I was going to ask if you had your logo on it.
Not my logo. It's just my face. It's an AI generated makeup kind of thing. It's really cool.
I have some CDs for my EP that I released and I put them for sale, when I'm playing. And I stopped bringing them for a while and then I started bringing them back and then the last couple of months I've sold a few and I'm like, oh my gosh,
right.
Wow, people are still,
Yeah, I've kind of stopped for a while too and I'll pick it back up again soon.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Like, oh my gosh. It's the only thing is just it's more stuff to bring, but I'm like, I still got a bunch of these and why not sell them?
It's not a bunch it's not a lot to throw into a bag or something like that. So
not at all. So, how many of these songs did you write on the EP? Are there 4 or are there 2? How many?
I wrote everything that's on the CD, except for, Midnight Train to Georgia, which is on there.
How many total?
I think there's 7.
Wow.
7
okay.
or 8.
That's almost a full length album or is a full length album. 7 songs.
Yeah.
That's not an EP after a while. EP's like 3, 4, maybe 5. Then now you're getting into the full album territory, girl.
Oh yeah.
So were these all written in the same span of time?
Kind of, sorta. Yeah, they were kind of all written within the same on that same kick that I got on.
Gotcha. And have you been writing other stuff lately, or?
I haven't lately. I've kind of been, I guess, a little bit in a rut, and haven't. I mean, I've made some notes of certain things that I want to do, but I haven't moved forward with it just yet.
Are you in a rut, or are you just busy? Because it sounds like you are just
crazy
busy.
I am very busy. But as far as creativity and writing again, I kind of got on a little bit in a rut as far as writing was concerned. I think it's my own fault. I kind of expect that flood again, like I had, and I'm expecting to have, here's 32 new songs, that, but I need to get out of that mindset And when I've got a certain topic that I want to move forward with it. I do have one song that's almost completely written about everything that's going on in our world today. I try to stay away from politics, but it's not so much political as it is human condition kind of thing. I'm very into people's rights and people being happy. And there's too many right now that are just miserable. And I hate to see that. So I try to find good in everything.
Yeah. Oh, hopefully people should. I mean, I think there's some people who...
Oh, there's some that don't.
You're either a glass is half full person or you're half empty. I mean, there's no...
I was half empty for a long time. And I don't like that person I was.
I always think half full.
Yeah.
Because I already... Why?
Exactly.
Why think of the negative?
What's it going to do for you?
There was a thing, I mean, I don't know if you kept up on it but when all those Europeans came over to the U.S. for soccer, and I don't want to talk politics or any of that stuff, but they were a lot of the videos I saw were just people like, we got all this bad stuff about the U.S. and we came over, and it was just a lot of positive stuff that they were just talking about, the U.S. and the impression they had from overseas, and then actually coming here, like they were like, oh my gosh, the people are friendly, the food is great. I haven't met anybody who's been blah, blah, blah. Everybody's been going over the top. And I think that's a thing of like, it's different in the U.S. because we are a very positive nation for the most part. People are, you don't realize it, but I've heard it from more than one person. Like, let's just say in England, where you are not expected to rise above where you're born into, like your class. And here in the United States, you can come here lower class and work your way up.
Exactly.
And nobody's going to turn around and ask you, why are you so happy? Nobody's stopping you from doing that.
Yeah.
Whereas in other parts of the world, you are kind of stopped to do that. We are an anomaly in that sense. Not everywhere is like we are. So
I loved the videos of them going, I went to Golden Corral and I had an out-of-body experience. I was like, oh my God, that is not an out-of-body experience, my friend.
I always like the Texas. I saw a couple of Japanese guys eating Texas barbecue. And
Oh,
they were like,
God, yes.
oh my gosh. So I'm like, yes, score one for the U.S.
And then they were trying to but they were trying to get they were trying to put ranch in their suitcases and get it back overseas. Like, y'all just order it online. We got it. We got you.
Oh my God. That is just funny. It's nice to see that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm curious, you got so much going on with yourself. You got the solo stuff. You did some recordings. And then I also see you're doing the Black Crowes tribute band, Hard to Handle, which I have not had a chance to come see yet.
We'll be at the Visual Light on August 1st.
Yeah, but as you know, I'm usually playing, and you're usually playing when other people are, and
exactly.
It's like to get a rare night off to go see somebody. Like
it's
even
tough.
when I saw you the one time, for a bit, I was just going down the block to go play myself.
Yep.
So, fill me on this Black Crowes thing. How did this come about? When did it start? What's your role? Who's involved?
So it was about 2 years ago.
Okay.
And, the bass player at the time, my friend Dave, was like, so we're doing this Black Crowes thing. Would you want to be a part of it? I'm like, to do what exactly? And he said,
play the Black Crowes.
No, yeah. Well, at the time it was to be a backing vocalist.
Okay.
And I was like, yeah, cool. I can do that. That sounds cool. And so he put me in touch with Steve Odell, who created the whole idea. And so we started talking, and I said, just kind of keep me posted on what you want to do. And he said, okay. So 3 days later, he comes, he goes, so how would you feel about singing backing vocals and playing keys? I was like, dude, I'm not that good of a keys player. I don't know that you want me to play. Because he said, I have heard you. I have seen videos.
Yeah.
You're going to be just fine. And I'm like, Dude, I'm telling you, I'm very simple in my keys playing. He said, you're exactly what we need. I promise you're going to be just fine. Okay. If you say so. And I was a nervous wreck because I hadn't played keys with anybody but me.
Right.
I'd not played with a band. I'm like, oh God. Okay. Sweaty palms, wipe them off. And, so we went for our first rehearsal and I held my own. I was like, okay, this is cool. And the guy we had at the time was struggling vocally. He had long COVID. Yeah. And it took a toll on his vocals. So we wound up having to do auditions for a lead vocalist for us. And so we took auditions and we had like 5 or 6. The guy we've got now, Daniel Clayton Austin, when he's the first song, I was trying not to show my hand, but as you can tell,
you're like, that's it?
Yeah, I can't hide my face. When he was done, he walked out the door. I looked at the guys. I said, it's him or I quit. He's perfect. He's perfect for what we need. And so we all sat and discussed it, and they all agreed he was ideal for what we needed. So we've had a couple of revolving door things. Not anything with bad blood. It was just people had life issues that they couldn't.
Sure.
They couldn't travel or whatever. They couldn't keep with the schedule that we were doing. So the guys we have now, we've got the perfect mix of everybody.
How do you like playing in a band as opposed to doing your solo thing?
I love it.
Yeah.
Not opposed to, it's different. I like that I can, I'm going to be over in the corner. You don't have to look at me. I'm just over here doing my thing. Y'all go have at it.
There you go.
The biggest thing that I was able to do that I'm very proud of is being able to stand to play. Being overweight as I was, and I was watching when our first show at the premiere in Hickory, and I'm watching the video and everybody's doing their thing. And I look like I don't belong with everybody on stage because I'm sitting down. The drummer, you expect to be sitting down.
Sure.
I agree to a point, keys even, to a point. My solo shows, I'm going to sit down for 3 hours because sometimes those 3 hours turn into 4 or 5 or 5.5.
Do you ever stand in a solo show and play?
I do not.
Okay.
I do not. That's
okay.
a lot. That's a lot because that's a long time. With a tribute band, you're playing 2 hours max. I can do that standing up. That's fine. That's a lot of standing and doing the pedal and a lot of distribution of my hips. So after 2 hours, I'm good. 3 would be pushing it.
Right.
4, I think I would be laying down. I would be in a lot of back pain, I think.
Well, I think that's also a lot of Black Crowes.
Yeah,
a lot. I mean, 4 hours of Black Crowes. I mean, I'm not sure they have 4 hours of material that I would want.
They do, but I don't know that anybody would stay there for 4 hours.
Yeah, I mean,
but that's what tribute bands are about. You pick your cherry picking stuff.
I mean, maybe I would go. I love the Black Crowes, and I've seen them a bunch of times, but 3 albums.
Yeah,
like the first 2, and then I'm not sure if Amorica is the 3rd album or not. I can't remember. But after that, I don't know if that many people know their stuff after those albums, unless you're a hardcore fan.
And we've got some hardcore fans that come out, seriously.
Yeah.
But we also do what Daniel calls, we're just a dude playing another dude from that movie. Because the Black Crowes cover other artists.
Yeah.
Like they did some Led Zeppelin stuff.
Sure.
And they did Rolling Stone stuff. So
do some Faces.
Right.
Yeah.
So we did Gimme Shelter. We added that and we did a couple of
Oh, great.
Yeah, and we just added Rock and Roll and I get to do the lead on that.
Nice.
So it's kind of a nice little change that the chick's going to sing. So, that's it. When we did Gimme Shelter, that was kind of when I'm doing the backing vocals and people are like, oh my God, holy crap, that white girl can sing. And so that's kind of a nice little break.
Sure.
In the Black Crow stuff.
So whose baby is it?
Steve Odell.
Steve Odell. Steve does all the booking and that kind of stuff.
Man, he does everything. Him and his brother Colden. Colden's our bass player, and they do everything. But it's Steve's baby. He does the vast majority of it.
How many times a month are you guys playing?
2 to 3.
Yeah.
Depending. Last month we had a full weekend where we went to Florida and had a whole weekend of stuff going on. So yeah. And then I was just looking, I've got 14 messages. They seem to know when I'm doing something and want to blow up my phone, with
like,
Instagram.
I'm in a podcast interview. Shut up.
It's exactly what I did. I'm like, why do y'all do it when I've got gigs or if I'm in the middle of something? But they're working on trying to figure out, we've got, back-to-back shows in Georgia next month. And so we're like, okay, we need an Airbnb. Are we going to get together and ride down in the truck and take the trailer so that we're all riding together? And yeah.
So I don't mean to get into it too much, but I'm just curious. And you can say, I don't want to talk about that. Is it when you're doing a traveling band like that and you're out, is the money worth it? Or is it more for the experience? Because the way I look at it is more as a time frame, like for you or me as a musician to travel somewhere, you're not at home, right? So it's 24 hours,
sure,
or 48 or whatever it is you're gone. Is the money that good from the time that you're doing it, or you do it more for like the money's good, but I'm doing a lot for the experience and getting that stuff done?
To start off, to get our name out there,
yeah.
The money was not the best. It was to get our name out there.
Yeah.
And I went into it knowing that. My solo stuff pays well enough and the tips are good enough that it'll cover, 1, 2, 3 lower paying gigs with the band per month or so. Now we're 2 years in, we're playing places like Hard Rock Tampa, Hard Rock Daytona, stuff like that, and traveling state to state to state to state. If I had known the money was like this, I'd have done it a long time ago. The money is very good.
There you go.
Very good. Even paying out for an Airbnb, the money's very good.
Nice. What kind of show are you guys putting on? Because, seeing your solo stuff, you've got the whole Carrie Ann thing going on. Do you guys bring the lights? Are you bringing...
No. We play venues that have sound and lights. We do not play any venues that we have to lug gear to.
Wow.
The only gear we bring is our stuff, our instruments.
Amps, that kind of stuff?
That's it.
Is it I'm guessing it's the Black Crows, but is it are you pushing air on stage? Are there amps and stuff or no?
Yeah, there's amps, but more for monitoring more than anything else. Okay. That's all.
So just a lot of pedal boards that you can go direct.
Yeah.
Because that makes it, I guess, for the guys who are playing guitars and stuff, it makes it that much easier to travel.
Right.
Because that's bringing amps and then you have amps break down.
Yep, they
that
sure
kind
do.
of stuff. Wow, that's real great. That's great to hear.
Yeah.
And you said you've had some personnel changes, due to personal stuff.
We're very cohesive now.
Awesome.
Very cohesive.
How many? Who are all the members of the band once again?
So I'm on keys and backing vocals. Mm-hmm. Steve Odell is on guitar, and he's what we call the band dad. Colden Odell is our bass player. He is our flash and dash. He's got the style, very handsome guy. He's like me. He tries to wear whatever is going to capture attention on stage.
As well you should.
Yeah,
on stage.
we all do. All of us do. We all take very good care in, okay, what are we wearing this week? We're going to try and color coordinate as best as we can.
Yeah.
Usually I try to coordinate with Colden because I'm on one side of the stage and he's on the other. The other guys kind of stick with their dark colors and their blacks. Colden and I are the flashy ones with the colors and the bright colors and stuff. So we try to coordinate.
Let's go neon yellow tonight.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we played one festival where I had, cause psychedelic, kind of hippie stuff is, Black Crowes they're very hippie dudes. And so I had like neon orange belt and orange Dolby long sleeves and a mini skirt, and it was cute. And Colden has this flashy paisley stuff and his scarves and stuff like that. So
that's great.
So Colden Odell is the bass player.
Okay.
Steve. Brian Porter, who is one of my dearest friends, and he's on one of the other guitars as well. He also plays slide guitar, which he said he didn't want to ever do, and now he does it very, very well. So I'm very, very proud of him. Kevin Hansen is on drums, who we call him a drum nerd, but we do it in the most loving way because he's very much a perfectionist. Mm-hmm. He doesn't rush. He doesn't slow. He's almost militant with keeping the beat. How many BPMs is that? And he can tell you.
I'm at 110.
He can tell you. If he hears it, he can tell you.
That's great.
He's amazing. And then our front guy is Daniel Clayton Austin. He's the best Chris Robinson we could ever possibly ask for. Yeah, without the drugs.
I think Robinson's clean. He's been clean a long time.
He is clean now, yes.
Yeah. He is quite the showman, too. He's good at what he does.
And Daniel is definitely a showman. He does the dancing and the jumping around on stage. And
I think I saw something with Chris Robinson, and they were talking about how when they originally recorded the Black Crowes stuff, he was singing these higher ranges, and he said something like, "Man, if I knew I would be singing this stuff like 30 years later, I would have sang it down a little bit so I didn't have to sing so high."
We asked Daniel on occasion, do we want to do it in the same key or do we need to take it down? And there's only one or two that we've had to take down.
Yeah.
We're adding 30 Days in the Hole. And he looked at me and he goes, "There's those lines on the chorus." He goes really high. I said, "I've got it. You're good. Don't worry. I'll take care of it." So it's nice that we can kind of do that together.
Yeah. I think more bands should, have somebody on stage, since the players are older and they can't hit the range like they did when they were younger. They should have someone on stage who can do it. I mean, I'm thinking, I've seen more than one person say something like with Axl Rose. Axl should have somebody on stage with him who can hit that high stuff that he can't hit anymore.
I agree.
Like he sounds great in his natural range.
Right.
But when he starts to get that higher stuff and because of his age and the years of singing, he can't hit those notes anymore. Exactly. I mean, and he had a great voice, it was a great run for, 35 years, 40 years, at 60 something.
Yes.
Not so much. He should have a really great vocalist on stage just to be like, well, you can hit this.
Yeah, right. When we were talking in the group chat about adding certain songs, and they said, about adding Rock and Roll by Led Zeppelin. And I was like, well, am I doing lead or is Daniel doing lead? Daniel goes, "You're going to do lead. I can't do that song." Yeah.
It's not easy. It's not easy. I mean,
for some reason,
Robert Plant can't do that song anymore. What are you talking about?
I don't know why. I mean, I'm fine with it. I don't know why it's become my signature song when I sit in with a band. Mm-hmm. They're like, "Do you know rock and roll?" I'm like, why does this song follow me everywhere I go? I've sat in with Saving July, with Joe's Blue Dog Junction, and I've sat in with several other bands. And for some reason, let's do rock and roll. Okay. Gotcha. Let's do it.
There you go.
So I finally added it to my solo show because I'm like, I've sung it everywhere else. Let me just add it here.
Now, I'm just going to segue a little bit, but so this is not your only band that Hard to Handle. You were also playing with One Short Bar.
One Bar Short.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
One Bar Short.
One Bar Short.
See how I messed that up? And you guys are doing all sorts of jump blues. And fill me in about this group. That sounds so interesting.
So Joe Delapina is the front. And Brian Porter, who's my guitarist in Black Crowes, is in with this. And then me, and then Matt, who plays drums. So me and Joe and Brian have wanted to do something together forever and ever and ever and ever. It just never worked over the years. Joe and I even tried to do a duo thing, and our schedules just wouldn't allow it.
Yeah.
And we're kind of at a point now, where I could jump in with this. And what happened was Joe had, throat cancer last year. Yeah, last year. And so he was on chemo and radiation and this, that, and the other. And he came back from that. He's 100%, but he gets tired very easily and he can't do a 3-hour show solid with vocals anymore. And so I was brought in to kind of ease the burden on him. So we kind of split everything, which is cool. And we can harmonize together. So that's a good thing. So we're doing stuff like Etta James and Peggy Lee and Stray Cats and Little Richard, stuff like that. So we're doing a lot of the old soulful jump blues kind of stuff. So it's a lot of fun.
How often are you guys playing?
Not a ton. For some reason, booking that kind of genre doesn't seem to appeal to a lot of locations. So trying to get us booked somewhere has been a struggle. So we're playing once every couple of months, maybe.
That's sad to me because I think that there's just a predominance of a certain style of music now that's out there. And not to say anything about, hard to handle, but it's become a tribute band kind of world at the moment.
Right.
There's a lot of tribute bands, whether it's Fleetwood Mac, Led Zeppelin, Guns N' Roses like there's a lot of tribute acts out there right now. And it's really interesting to me, like how it's gone. I mean, and we do the same thing, doing the, solo shows, similar kind of stuff. Like, but I also miss that there's not as much jazz or soul going on some places, to get that diversity of sound.
My friend, we talked earlier before we went on to the podcast, we talked about Buff Dillard.
Yeah.
Buff Dillard is a jazz performer. That's his thing. He does stay steadily busy.
Right.
But what it is he goes and plays what are called jazz nights.
Right.
And so he's created his own little niche for what he does. And he's found the venues that cater to that. So he stays steadily busy, and that's great. But you're right. Charlotte is very much, I don't want to say opposed because that's not really it. It seems like they want to hear the same crap regurgitated over and over and over and over by the same artists constantly.
Is it just Charlotte though, or is it like just the time period of music we're in right now?
No, it's Charlotte.
You think so?
Asheville's not like that. Raleigh's not like that. I mean, we could get a one bar short. We could play at Earl's out in near Asheville or Greensboro.
Mm-hmm.
If we could get booked in there again. We had a good crowd when we played there, but it's Charlotte. It seems to be, and Charlotte's not big on original music either.
Yeah, I think it's hopefully it'll start to turn a little bit, for a lot of stuff. I mean, I can't even think of like too many like blues bands in town. Like,
no, they used to have the Blues Jam. They don't have that anymore.
Oh, they don't do that anymore?
Not that I'm aware of.
No, I thought I saw somebody do it.
Really? I hope so. I would hate to think that went completely by the wayside.
Yeah. And I know they used to do like a bluegrass jam and stuff.
Yeah.
There was some guys doing one of those.
Oh, cool.
So I think bluegrass is starting to get a little.
But as far as booking,
yeah,
you don't see blues bands or bluegrass bands getting booked in regularity.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, like some of the bars and restaurants,
Yeah. And original music, you might as well forget it. The only time I play my original stuff is if someone asks.
See, there's people who do it differently though. Like Scott Summers, he does a totally original stuff. He doesn't play covers. He said maybe he throws one or two covers, but like he sells it a certain way and he just does his solo stuff. And I'm like, God, dude, that's awesome.
That is awesome.
Like that you're able to just
that's
go through that
unheard
stuff. It is. It is. And not a lot of people can do it. 2 hours or 3 hours of just original stuff. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know myself, I've got the 4 original songs on my EP. I could, I would love to do a couple of singer-songwriter things, but I only got the 4 songs, and that, you got to fill 15, 20 minutes or a half hour of music of
Yeah.
original stuff. I can't even do that right now.
Right.
So it's okay. I'll survive. Something will come up. So I want to, talk to you just a little bit about, social media. And I looked, and you don't have a webpage.
Nope.
What's going on?
And I probably should. I used to program web pages back in the day, back in the 90s.
Yeah.
I programmed HTML, and I would do them from scratch. I thought about it, but I don't feel like anybody really goes out to CarrieAnnLive.com. Everything is on Facebook. Everything is on Instagram.
Right.
I have my link tree that I push out there as much as possible. And my link tree has everything. It's got all of my Facebooks. It's got all of my projects. It's got all of my streaming stuff where you can find me. It's got my Instagram, my TikTok. Mm-hmm. If I've got my social media, it's on my link tree.
Gotcha.
I feel like there's nothing I could say in a web page that I can't say that it already has been said, where I've got 10,000 followers on Facebook.
Sure.
I mean, this is where I've built my following.
Sure.
So I don't really know that an actual web page would be of benefit.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just a different way of thinking about things. I mean, I'm not saying is or wouldn't. I was just curious because I struggled a couple of years ago because I had all these other things I was doing. And then I was like, I got to put this all under one umbrella. And the webpage was a good way to do that. So I, push my, cover music that I'm doing, lectures that I could do to school systems, podcast, like I was like, I need all this under one umbrella. I can't just do it like, I didn't want to have 20 web pages.
Right.
Although, I still have got an Instagram page and a Facebook page, but I try to actually do the opposite. I push everything to my Facebook, to my website, and I can sell my music there.
Right.
Too.
Well, that's why I like the Linktree, because the Linktree does that. Linktree has everything.
I've got one of those for Instagram.
I love Linktree.
Yeah.
And you can sell stuff through Linktree. I haven't gotten to that point yet, but you can. And the next thing I'm working on, I started it, but I haven't touched it for a while because it's a lot to program. Coding. I'm trying to create a Carrie Ann app, which will have everything that's on my Linktree. Plus, you can scan a QR code or scan whatever, and you can look at, you can search the 1,700 songs. Let's see what she's got.
There's a website. My friend Nicholas Rhodes, Raven in the Road, Nicholas does something similar, and he said there's a thing where you can scan a QR code, and I think there's an app or something, and it connects and it shows you, all the songs that and you can put a tip in for whatever song that you want to hear. You want to hear this, then you can Venmo me, $5 to hear, Midnight Train to Georgia if you want.
That's kind of what I'm working on. Like I said, I started it, and it would also have the ability to have, if you wanted a personal video made, you can request it, and I can do a personal video for you, or a personal song for you, sing happy birthday, almost like the cameos that they do.
Yeah.
But you could do it through the app.
That's great.
So I'm working on that. In my spare time.
On the road in your hotel room. Maybe.
In the truck, because I told them I'm passenger princess. You all drive. I'm not driving that big truck. I'm back here working. Y'all have fun.
Leave me alone.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. So Carrie Ann, as we start to close things out, how do we get in touch with you if we want to contact Carrie Ann and find out about you?
Very easy to find. You can find me, as I tell everybody on my shows, you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. If you search Carrie Ann Musician, you look for the white hair. It's very easy to see.
Just look you up.
Yep.
You're on Instagram and Facebook?
Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok.
All right. Awesome.
And YouTube. and Spotify and Pandora. See, I'm all the places that people have places, so I'm very easy to find.
And you got your events calendars over there too?
I do. All my events are, I always, at the beginning of the year, well, actually the October of the previous year, I put in all of my shows. So all of my 2026 shows are listed in my Facebook events.
Awesome. Well, thanks for coming in and talking.
Thanks for having me. It's been great. I had fun.
It's been a blast getting to know you.
Yeah.
All right. Have a great rest of the day.
You too. Thank you.
Bye. Thanks for listening to episode 101 of the Queen City Music Podcast, and I hope you go back and check out past episodes. And if you've enjoyed this podcast, please give us a like and follow on your favorite streaming platform. As always, if you have an idea for an episode or would like to be a guest on the QCMP, reach out to me at qcmusicpodcast@gmail.com. Also, check out our local partners, Charlotte New Music at charlottenewmusic.org, Black of the Berry Lemonade at btblemonade.com, The Evening Muse at eveningmuse.com, and our newest local partner, Earshot at earshotevents.com. And if you would like to become a local partner, touch base with me at, you guessed it, qcmusicpodcast@gmail.com. Until next month, get out there and support the local Charlotte music scene by hearing some of the talented artists who call our city home.